surfing more, so I started appreciating more being there also.
So, were you into surfing before this, or?
Surfing, my first time surfing was actually very long ago, but that's not really called surfing. That was like kneeling on a board and trying. That was in San Diego, 2012, I think.
Okay.
And then I didn't surf for a long time. I was in Australia 2016, 17, 18.
Australia, it's crazy, right? They have like crazy waves, huh?
Yeah,
was in Hawaii?
Not only the waves, also the prices for the surfboard rental was so high, and I'm not a person that like spends shit tons of money. So I was like, okay, whenever I enter a country, I decide where do I go next, because the ticket is cheaper when you look in advance. So when I came to Australia, I had a 3 months tourist visa, and I was like, okay, let's check where I go next. And I checked the tickets. Where are the cheapest tickets from which airport? So basically I booked the ticket out already from Australia. There was two options that were the same amount. That was either New Zealand or Bali.
Okay.
So I decided to go to Bali because Australia and New Zealand are more similar. Bali is going to be completely different culture again. So I decided to go Bali. And I knew that surfing there is going to be super cheap and at least as good as in Australia. You don't need the wetsuit. You don't.
Absolutely.
So
the suit is worn for the cold, is it?
Yeah, when the water is cold, so it basically
I didn't know that.
Isolates the body temperature.
Yeah, I still didn't know that. I thought it was like for like, I don't know, like shark or shark protection or something like that. I didn't know.
No, it's for that. It might help against jellyfish, maybe. Not sharks. I think.
Sting.
Sharks, I think they bite through this.
I don't know why I thought that. Weird. Yeah.
And then. I went there. That's where I really got into surfing. Or not really. I don't know what is getting into surfing mean, but that's where I went to a surf camp. I decided to learn the basics and the surf. That was in the surf camp for a couple of days. And then I didn't surf again for very long. Until I came to Sri Lanka. Until I went to the south. And then I started getting excited about it. I got better. The better I got, the more interesting it was. And it's like constant growth. You can never be the best in surfing. You can always push yourself to feel it more, and also it's not like I don't want to be like a professional surfer. I'm not heading there. I just do it for it's like a balance, it's an exchange. It's really nice. It's a really good exchange for the body and for the mind, because you basically meditate and you're active in the same time.
What do you mean?
So there's lots of moments where you have to wait.
Yes.
So, and also depends on the time of the day that you go out. If you go very early morning when there is almost no one in the water, only the ones that decide to wake up early and not party the night before, there's barely anyone in the water, and you have peace. The only thing you hear is the water and the birds, maybe some breath tuk-tuk that passes with the melody. So that's all.
And interesting,
So that's a very good state to just observe your thoughts and let them be, and observe the ocean and the nature. It's like meditating. And then when the wave comes, you have to be active. So it's physically and psychologically, spiritually, whatever you want to call that. It's good.
That's it. I've never thought of it like that. I mean, it makes sense. A lot of people do stay in the water a long time. I mean, when I go surfing, I stay like the lowest in the water because it's hard to catch the wave, right? Because you need like really good upper body strength to really paddle and try to catch that wave.
Yeah, it's also technique. I mean, there's skinny girls, tiny skinny, chutty girls that surf. I'm sure they have less upper body strength than you, but there's even boys. Like there's in the south, there's kids there. I don't know how old they are, but like young boys, 7, 8, 10 years old, and they I'm sure they don't have as much upper body strength as you, but they know exactly when to pedal how much. So it's more technique in the end than strength. Obviously, you need a little bit of muscles, but it's a lot of feeling.
So for me, that board thing was always like, I mean, I didn't know. People say as a beginner you go for the longboard, the big one and all the stuff. But I just lugging that around is just really big. It's so heavy, like 6-7 feet or whatever. And then trying to pedal on that, I always have a tough time. But then there are people who use a small board. I mean, what's that whole story? I'm not.
I mean, there's more than only small and big boards. But
Yeah,
to
like
see the
long
difference,
board,
so the reason why they give big boards to the beginners,
Yeah.
or why the beginners start with the big,
Yeah.
longer,
Yeah.
wider, fatter board is because it floats more.
Okay.
That means when you stand up, you don't need to stand exactly in the right position. If you're a little bit too much in the front, or a little bit too much in the back, or a little bit too much on the sides, you will not fall straight away. That's why you see there's also a professional way of longboarding, but then they use this opportunity to walk on the board back and forwards. I'm probably you have seen this. And with the shortboard it's different. You don't have that range. You cannot step a little bit too much in the front, a little bit too much in the back. Basically, in the moment you stand up, you already have to stand at the right spot. If else you lose your balance. So I don't want to say a shortboard needs more balance. Depending on the way you ride it. A longboard also needs a lot of balance, but that's when you move on it. But to just stand on a longboard without moving is easier than to just stand on a shortboard.
Ah, makes sense.
Right. And with a longboard, you make the movements with your body on the board to move the board.
Like that.
Also with
Like
walking
yeah,
back and
yeah,
forwards,
okay.
basically dancing.
Okay.
With the shortboard, it's different.
I didn't realize I had to.
With the shortboard, you move with your torso.
Okay.
Like with the way you move your body, like without the feet. You're not
Okay.
moving your feet. That's the difference. And then there's lots of other differences, like the fins, the shapes of the boards. That's like an endless topic.
I'm always worried about the fins because like, especially when I have the big boards, like you have to bring the board like out to the beach and then like the fin might get damaged and stuff like that. You get screwed.
Oh, you mean when you get into the land again?
Get into the land again because those what do you call it?
Fins?
Sorry, give me a second. What happened? I say no. I mean, I'm recording the audio on the phone.
Recording zero.
Give me this phone. Give me that.
Maybe leave it there, but the sound will be changed in the middle of the.
No, I think we can switch it. Maybe we can switch it. Yeah, hopefully. Let's see.
Okay. You
Yeah,
close it
just yeah. So, yeah, man.
What's that? How is this throat?
Yeah, dude, it's like still. It's been like this for like a while now. 3 days now, I think.
Well, I don't hear anything. You say the voice sounds different. I think it's.
Yeah?
I mean, maybe I didn't hear you for too long now, so I don't remember your voice.
Yeah. Speaking about voices, your girlfriend has like a crazy voice.
She has a good voice. Beautiful, yeah.
Very, very. She's like popular, right? Popular.
What means popular?
I don't know. Like a lot of people.
She has popularity. Yeah. Yeah, no, she's good.
Man, what's that? So yeah, like bringing that boat because boats are really expensive, man. Like really, really expensive.
Depends where you get them from.
But then,
Here in Sri Lanka, they are expensive actually. In Bali, they're very cheap. In Bali, you can make a custom-made board for, depending how many boards you buy and where you buy, it's maybe $150, $200. Custom shaped.
here it's like you can't even buy a basic board for that price, no?
A new one?
Yeah.
A new one here, maybe around $500. Yeah.
There are guys who make it right here, right?
There's a very small amount of guys that make it here. It's not a lot, but there is.
Interesting. So yeah. So then, like surf spots, you like choose like what are the surf spots like that are really good? I mean, I know there are 2 seasons.
Yeah.
See, I'm not really familiar with this one, but I know there are 2 seasons, and then there is one season where people in the south, which is now, August to December, I think, right? August to December or something like that. August to January. Or February?
No, in the south.
Yeah.
In the south, it starts like the official season.
Yeah.
When the tourists come, when the waves, when the most of the places, there's lots of surf spots in the south. When most of them work, it's something in between maybe October till February, March. And you cannot really say it. Sometimes it starts a bit earlier, a bit later.
Okay.
It stops a bit later. But
Okay.
the main season for tourism, not for surfing, for
Okay.
tourism,
Okay.
is December till February maybe, but the surf tourism stretches the whole thing a little bit out. But even now in the off season, you can also surf. It's just not there's just not that many waves. You just have to go to the wave that is working. And Arugambe, or like the East Coast, so they just call it Arugambe. It's just a place anyway, but it's the spots in the east. They are working right now. This is I think starting from maybe May, June until September.
I still haven't been to Arugambe. I hear it's like very nice.
I haven't surfed there.
Is it?
I've just been there, but I haven't surfed.
May like so there are a couple of spots, right? So you have like recently what I've been hearing about is like this like in Gaul, just near Gaul, right at the exit. There is Devata.
Yeah, you can surf there.
So yeah, I actually
It's like Veligama. It's the same like Veligama basically.
Is it?
I mean, it's a sand break. It's not the same. It's always going to be different, but it's a sand break. It's
what does that mean?
That means there's no reef. So this is where you should start surfing because it's not that dangerous because you don't break the fins.
Yeah.
You don't break your body. Or it's not that easy. You still can, as you experience probably. You touch the fin, the sand, but the sand doesn't break a fin instantly. Maybe scratches it and doesn't break your bones instantly if you hit it.
Others are like reef, you mean?
Most of the other spots are reef spots. There's 3 spots in the south that I know that are sand, which is Devata, Veligama, and then Matara, Black Sand Beach.
We went there.
We went there.
Yeah, we went there. That was
so these are sand breaks.
Okay.
The rest is reef. I think, I don't know, maybe there's spots that I don't know.
Hirikati?
Hirikati is half-half.
Ah.
If you go to the left side on the side, you know, on the edge where the bay starts, where there's like big rocks, there's reef. And the rest of the bay is sand.
I actually love it. That's my favorite bay, man. It's so beautiful.
Yeah, so actually there's one more. There's probably even 1,000 more that we didn't discover yet.
Yeah,
you can just take, there's people, the smartest surfers, they just take a tuk-tuk or the bike and they go look for a place where nobody is. You can sometimes surf at places where it's just not known as a spot, but the wave might be at specific days better than anywhere else. The ocean is not predictable. And especially even in Veligama, the sandbanks are changing. Right now, there's the change coming to the season where the sandbanks are changing, which means the waves are in different places every day. You just have to look. It's not always at the same place. During the season, it's very constant at the similar place, or the stretches very wide. It's like a lot of the beach is surfable. Yeah. And in the off season, you always have to look. There's sometimes a wave there, sometimes here, sometimes none. You just have to look a little bit more.
So recently I went down south. We were going to Jungle Beach. The waves were very different. Then we went to Una, which is like, I don't know, not that far away. Very different waves. I was like, wow, okay. And then Una was like, and even in Una, like the stretch, one side was like very slow and like a lot of like knotless waves, and then one
surfed in Una?
No, I didn't, because I had like a head injury.
Yeah. Maybe. I mean, in the end, you can surf everywhere, depending on what kind of quality of wave you want. But you can surf everywhere there is waves.
It's deep there, right? Una water is deep.
I've never been there.
Is it? It's really deep.
I mean, I passed it, but I've never been there.
That's like known for like a lot of beachside.
People told me go to the south. I went straight to the southest point. I went to Matara. That's where I stayed first.
So with the Southern Expressway, man, it used to be like 4-hour journey. It's horrible.
Yeah, now it's so fast. The fastest time, I came with a guy that took me with him, like gave me a lift with the car from Eissa, from door to door, to Dehivala, to the door of my girlfriend's home. 1 hour and 40 minutes. Very good.
It used to be like 4 hours, man. Wait, this is Matara.
Mirissa, yeah.
Mirissa, yeah. So your entrance is... Wow, that's crazy.
But there is an entrance in